I want this to be recorded so that you can use it for future. Okay. So thank you very much, Alejandro. And I also got to thank Kathy Barrow for initiating this, right? Yeah. So I got to give two apologies first, okay? First one is that my voice might sound a bit funny because I have a cold. My nose is blocked, okay? So my sound might sound a bit uh blocked, but the most important people are the translators here. They are the one that are gonna share the message, which you're gonna understand, and they are the most important people in this room. Okay, right. And then my second apology is that I'm gonna be looking at my phone. Okay, why am I looking at my phone sometimes? Okay, you can see my eyes going down there because the PowerPoint I'm gonna use is in Spanish. Okay. So, but I'm gonna, I don't know what is on my screen, but I'm gonna look at my phone and look at my own English version so I know what I'm sharing with you. Okay. So sometimes when I look down, it's not that I'm reading messages, I'm looking at my English version. Okay. So let's get started. Let's give everybody a big round of applause first. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. So Alejandro, you're the one that's you're controlling the what do you call that? The Zoom, right? Right.
Sí, yes.
Later on we're gonna have maybe some breakouts. Okay, so tentatively, I look at the number of people here. We can have about 25 breakouts, 25 breakout groups. So there will be about 4 to 5 people per breakout group. Okay, so there'll be a good number for discussion. Right. So oh, okay.
Sorry, what? Ah, es que estaba yo
Yep.
asignando a alguien más, pero creo que se perdió. Déjame volver a ponerlo. ¿Está bien
Ah,
así?
Ramiro, ¿cómo
apareció.
estás?
So are we okay?
¿Ya está funcionando o
Es
no?
Have we
necesario,
got
por
the
favor,
Sí, ya
que
está.
interpretation?
vuelvan a seleccionar el idioma. Se les deshabilitó, así que rápidamente, si gustan ir a su menú,
Ya está.
seleccionar español o inglés y podemos avanzar. Vale.
So Lulu, I hope I pronounced your name right. If I'm okay to continue, give me a thumbs up so I know that the translation has been fixed. Okay, good. Fantastic. Okay. So this is my promise. Okay. So my promise is that if you learn from today's workshop and you and your chapter members practice the power team strategies, you would 10x your business. 10x is a big number, but I've seen so many members by involving in power teams, they are able to do bigger projects and their business really grow. Okay. Instead of just doing one small project on your own, you're gonna work with a group of people and do bigger projects. That's why you're gonna 10x your business. Right. So okay, so and then many people have got the concept that power teams are difficult. So my job today is to help you 10x your business and to show you that you can have a power team built with only 3 simple steps. Okay. BNI is very easy, simple and easy if we just practice the fundamentals. The problem is sometimes that as business owners, we don't like simple things. We like to make things more complicated, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to keep BNI simple so that we can get results. Okay. So if I ask you, what is BNI based on? Okay. If you say one word, what do you think BNI is based on? Okay. And one of you may have to translate it back to English to me, but what do you think BNI is based on? Just one word. What do you think the answer is?
Networking.
Network, okay. Yep. Juan Pablo, okay.
Relationship.
Yep. Network. What else?
Trust.
Trust, okay. Very good. What
Conexiones.
else? Sorry?
Connections.
Connections, okay. Right. Very good. What else? So you all are quite warm.
Friendship.
What was said, Dinah?
Relationships.
Yes, that's fantastic, everybody. Let's give Diana a big round of applause, okay? Because BNI is based on relationships, okay? So it's network, correct? But network of people that you got a relationship with, it's the connection that you have, okay? It is the people that you know that want to do business with you. So remember that BNI is based about relationships. You can meet 1,000 people, but if there is zero relationship, zero trust, are you going to get business? You are not going to get business, okay? So always remember that BNI is based on relationship, and then all over the world, no matter what culture, whether you're from Asia, Africa, you're from, Central and South America, you're from Europe, US, all of us want to have relationships. All of us want to do business with people that we know, we like, and we trust. Okay? Right. So you got to know them first. You got to like them because if you don't like somebody, you're not going to do business with the person, right? So it's the know, like, and trust. So these three words, relationship, sorry, four words. Relationship is the big word, but then underneath it, people that you know, you like, you trust. So what I would say is that if you want to get a lot of, okay, if you want to get a lot of business out of BNI, okay, you got to fill the room. It is your duty to fill the room with people that know, like, and trust you, people who want to do business with you, people who want to give you good referrals, okay? Right. So people who can fill the room with know, like, and trust, people that know, like, and trust them are the people that get the most business in BNI. So far, so good. Are there any questions or comments? No? Okay, so
No.
when you got no questions or comments, it shows that I'm sharing with you clearly, okay? And for the translators, I hope that I am speaking slow enough. I'm passionate, but I'm speaking slow enough that you can comfortably translate. Okay, good. So, the two words or the two phrases that are most confused in BNI is context sphere and power team. Okay, right. Context sphere and power team. So Alejandro, help me. Just test out the 25 breakout groups and just give everybody 5 minutes only. Okay, 5 minutes to discuss in your group. What's the difference between a context sphere and a power team? And we want to hear the answer. Okay, what's the difference between a context sphere and a power team? Okay, so this is a 5 minutes breakout session.
Sí, Lulu las está haciendo las salas, los breakout rooms.
Tenemos
Lulu,
listas.
we are ready. Okay.
Okay. So Lulu, over to you.
Yeah.
Vamos a salas.
5 minutes, okay? Very, very simple exercise, 5 minutes.
Ya todos tienen invitación para ir a grupos pequeños. Solo denle a aceptar, por favor, para que no dejen solos a sus compañeros de sala.
Hola Lulu, es que me tocó en la salita sola, entonces me regresé.
No te preocupes. Vamos, ahí está. ¿Listo? Por favor, vayan a la sala para grupos pequeños que los estamos invitando para que no dejen solo a ningún participante. Querida Vanya, ya te asigné.
Ah,
So far, Alejandro, everything okay?
Okay, okay. Everything okay.
Good, good. Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. I love the energy. Yeah.
You look good.
Thank
As
you.
Marina, si estás por ahí. No, Marina ya se fue. Es que
Sí,
falta
quien no está en sala es Paola, nuestra intérprete. Ella no está en sala.
la otra Paula. Paula, aquí está. Paula,
Sí,
intérprete.
aquí estoy yo. Yo soy la otra intérprete.
Ok, si te agrego, yo aquí te pongo Paula, intérprete, y te pongo inglés-español también, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Es que la vez pasada hice eso y fue cuando se perdió, pero voy a intentarlo otra vez. Inglés-español.
Ujú.
Pongo actualizar. ¿Estás? Ya está. Perfecto.
Estamos a 1 minuto 30 de que regresen.
Ok.
So about another 30 more seconds. Okay.
30 and 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute. Yeah.
Yes, because they have 1 minute
Okay.
come back.
To come back. Okay. So most of your chapters are in person or online?
We have in person, we have online, and we have hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yes.
Okay. Most is what? Most is hybrid, most is
Most
online,
is
or most
hybrid.
is
Yes, the
most
most
is
is
hybrid.
hybrid.
Yeah.
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 Están
Same as the
regresando.
Philippines too, most hybrid.
Yes. But new chapters, we are always in present.
Oh, okay.
New chapters. What time is it right now
Listo.
where you are?
Sorry?
What time is it where you are right now?
Oh, I am, it is 10 o'clock, 10:50 at night. Yeah. Don't worry, I got strong coffee. Double espresso. Yeah.
Okay.
Estamos ya todos de regreso en sala.
Okay, so welcome back. So, Lulu, you help me, okay? You are my assistant. You ask a few people to give the
Con mucho gusto.
feedback. Yep. Ask them to give me the feedback. What is the result of the discussion? Maybe we have 4 people, okay? Right.
Perfecto. Si nos ayudan a levantar 4 manitas digitales, quien nos quiera compartir cómo le fue con este tema que nos propuso YP para ir a dialogar, debatir estos 5 minutos. Así que empezamos con Daf. 30 segunditos, Daf, si nos ayudas a contarnos cómo te fue. Vamos con Daf, luego con Sidi, luego Aisha y luego Quetzali.
Hola, yo considero que me fue muy bien. Coincidimos con que el grupo de poder pues ya va más integrado, más avanzado con un objetivo de cliente en común. Y la esfera pues solamente los agrupa.
Maravilloso. Qué buen debate y qué buena conclusión. Gracias, Daf. Pau, no
Okay, the
sé
next
si
one.
YP.
Yeah.
Sí, sí, Lu, bueno, en mi sala justamente definimos y estuvimos de acuerdo en la parte del compromiso, que ese es el principal común denominador del equipo de poder, y ya hay un compromiso comercial entre todos que nos diferencia o también nos termina de amalgamar como, sí como esfera, pero nos lleva más allá de la estrategia con el compromiso.
Correcto, Siri. Si no hay compromiso, no podemos tener congruencia para coordinarnos a trabajar como esfera y a ver nuestras prioridades y sumar nuestros esfuerzos. Gracias, Siri. Aisha.
Hola, mucho gusto. Sí, nosotros bueno, en nuestro mini chat vimos que es muy importante que este equipo de poder, pues es el eslabón perfecto de toda tu cadena, trabajando unidos, en donde ya, como dicen, pues la mayoría es un compromiso, en donde todos ya vamos sobre un objetivo.
Súper bien. Compromiso, trabajo en equipo con el objetivo a cumplir. Súper bien. Y Quetzali, por último.
Gracias, coincidiendo con todas las compañeras de BNI, tuvimos una cátedra con Lili Padilla, directora consultora de Veracruz, si no me equivoco. Nos explicó, así nos abrió los ojos. Yo tengo aproximadamente 8 años en BNI y con toda la información, eso hace que con el aprendizaje continuo, distinguiendo entre esfera y equipo de poder, podamos generar más negocios.
Muchas gracias, Quetzali y Lili. Muchas gracias por aportarle a este grupo con el que te quedó, con el que te tocó trabajar. Y pues bueno, hasta aquí vamos a dejar estas 4 participaciones por tiempo y tomo nota para la siguiente participación. Muchas gracias. Adelante.
You got one more person, is it? I thought just now one more person.
Sí, tenemos una manita más levantada de Fran, de líderes. Fran,
Fran, is it Fran?
rápidamente.
Yeah, okay, go for it, go for it. Yeah. No?
Fran Aguilar, está cerrado tu micrófono.
Yeah.
30 segunditos.
Okay, we are talking about for the joint spheres, for the power spheres. We think that the joint forces to achieve business between several companies in a sphere is better because we try to obtain some business with all the people.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. So can we give all those people who answer a very big round of applause? Okay, let's clap hand for everybody who answered. Okay. Thank you. Very good answers, very interesting answers. But you can see that from the different people who share, there is a bit of different understanding, isn't it? There is different interpretation of what the context sphere is and what the power team is, okay? And why is that so much, why is that so much confusion, okay? Because context sphere as an English word, okay? Yep. You've got the BNI meaning and then you got the normal general meaning. Of course, power teams is used mostly in BNI. But in BNI, sometimes when people say context sphere, they mean power team. When they say power team, they mean context sphere. So I've been in BNI for 24 years, okay? 24 years, okay? And I've seen a lot of interpretations. So very often in a chapter when people say the power team doesn't work. But actually, they are not saying that the power team doesn't work. What they are saying is that the context sphere doesn't work because they confuse the context sphere with power team. And when their context sphere doesn't work, they blame it on power team. So that's not correct. Okay. Right. So what I want to do today, once and for all, I want to clear the confusion. So what I'm going to give you is the definition, the meaning of context sphere from BNI. Okay. So this is the BNI meaning. If you go outside and outside of BNI, there will be a different meaning for context sphere. But I'm going to give you the meaning of context sphere in BNI. Then I'm going to give you the meaning of power team in BNI. Okay. If you follow these two meaning, context sphere, power team, you always get good results. So are you all ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to have the real definition of context sphere and power team. Okay. So you can get, yeah, whoa, okay, Quetzali. Okay, good. I see two thumbs up. Okay, double thumbs up. Fantastic. Okay, good. Right. So let's talk about the context sphere. Okay, right. So, context spheres are classifications. Okay, give me a second to get my English version out. Okay. So, so context spheres, okay, they are classifications, they are related to each other, but they are not competing, okay? So they are having the same target market. So I'm going to give you two examples, okay? Right. So we get a wedding planner, somebody who hire the wedding gown, okay? A makeup artist, a photographer, event, somebody who hires an event hall, okay? And then somebody who caters the food, somebody who bakes a nice cake, and somebody who sells flowers, okay? So I mentioned already 8 different classifications, okay? So what is their target market? What do you think is the target market, okay? You can either type it into the chat and one of you read it out to me, or you can unmute yourself and say what the target market is.
Events.
Events, okay? But be more specific. Who is the target market?
Wedding events.
That's right. Okay, thanks. Is it Anna?
Anna.
So, Anna, thank you so much. Okay, so you're right. So these are 8 people, okay? They are in different classification, but they can work together to serve one target market. It is people getting married, okay? Right. So this is one example of a context sphere, okay? Let me try another one, okay? So in this second example of context sphere, you got a contractor, you got somebody who do the carpet, you got an interior designer, you got a house painter, you got somebody that sell electrical goods, somebody who sell curtains, and somebody who do lighting, okay? Okay, right. So who is the target market?
Someone who's looking to build his house.
Okay, somebody to build the house, or maybe somebody to renovate the house, right? It could be to build or to renovate, okay? Right. So you're correct, okay? So this is the target market. So the first example is we mentioned is a wedding context sphere. And this second one is I use the word renovation or a building context sphere, okay? Right. So they are related, they are not competing, they serve the same target market, okay? So that's the definition of a context sphere, okay? Right. So they can naturally give each other referrals, okay? So people in a context sphere can naturally give each other referrals. They can support, okay, and enhance each other's business, but very often they are passive. They do not give each other business. Although they can, they do not give each other business. Why? Why do you think that in a context sphere scenario, sometimes although they can give, they don't give?
Maybe they do not trust each other.
Okay, so trust element is missing. Okay, right. What else? And I think that's the most important thing. What else is missing?
They don't have a goal in between them.
They don't have any?
They don't have a goal between them.
Okay, they don't have a goal. Okay, right. So they got first one is no trust, no plan. Okay. The third one would be what else? What are the other reasons that you think they don't give? Okay.
They are not structured.
There's no structure. Very good. You all are so good. Okay. You're giving very good answers. Woohoo! Okay, what else? What else? What else do you think is missing?
Conocen su negocio.
You can speak in Spanish and somebody can just help. Kathy, if you need to, just help me translate. Okay, right. What else? Okay, Luis?
No conocen el negocio. No conocen el negocio del compañero.
They don't know the business of the other person.
Okay, that's right. They don't know. They not only do not know the business, they do not know the other person, what markets they're looking for. Very good. Okay, right. So I saw Luis and then we have Lily. Okay.
No tienen
Luis.
una metodología específica que siguen de equipos de poder y no tienen el compromiso de generarse y rendición de cuentas en ello.
They don't have enough impulse to make the team work, and they don't have the
Okay.
to do it.
Okay. So there's no system, there's no structure, there's no motivation to do that. Very good. Woohoo. Okay, Lily.
Project. They don't have a project in common.
Okay. Right.
No
So
son
again, when you say no
específicos.
project, I would say that this is like no structure yet. They don't have a system. They don't have a structure. Good. Okay. So this is the reason why context sphere are passive and they do not give each other business. Okay. So you all know what does not work. So now we're going to look at how to make things work. Okay. So first thing is I'm going to share with you the 9 most common context spheres in BNI. Okay. So this is not complete. This is not complete, but this is the 9 most common around the world, okay? Is there something that you feel that is very strong in Mexico that is not in this list? Anything that's missing?
Paris.
Food.
Últimamente hay mucho desarrollo justo para la industria, como dicen, y la parte logística
Human
es algo que ha
resource.
tenido mucho auge.
Okay, human resource, the HR, I would say is into like business services because HR normally supports businesses, isn't it? Okay. So you are into category number 4. So HR is normally into category number 4. Normally, okay? Yeah. Laura?
Tourism. We have very
Okay.
many tourist ports, and we are
Okay.
up and coming as medical tourism.
Okay, fantastic. So you identified one area, number 10, into the tourism. For example, Thailand is a very strong medical tourism or wellness, center. Good. So in some chapters, they've got a wellness, health, wellness, medical type of members, okay, that can form a power team, okay, right? A context sphere, then a power team. Good. Is there anything else? So I want our minds to start thinking, okay? Why I ask you this question is this is 9 most common, okay? 9 most common, but there are still things that are missing that we sometimes have in our chapters. So I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to sound a bit stupid. It's going to sound a bit silly, okay? Right. Do people in your city drive cars?
Yes, we do.
Yes, you do. Of course, right.
A lot.
Yes, you do. So one of the power team that's missing here, which is very common in my countries, because we all drive cars, is the auto mechanic power team. The car mechanic, the tire, the one that wash the car, the panel beater, the aircon, car accessory, car insurance, So these are the people who serve. Who is the target market? Car owners. Correct. Right. So there are many other context spheres that can happen, but this is the 9 most common, okay? Right. Okay. So far, so good. So we understand what a context sphere is, and we understand what are the most common context sphere. Can you all now, just for a quick exercise, okay? You don't have to tell me which one, but can you decide out of these 9, which one you belong to? And if you do not belong to any of these, what is the additional context sphere or power team that you can belong to, okay? All right. We just do 1 minute exercise, no need breakout, because I want you to have in your mind what context sphere you belong to, okay? Right. Just 1 minute exercise.
We should put in the chat the number.
You can put it into the chat if you want.
Great.
Okay, about another 20 more seconds. Yeah. You can fill the chat up, And this is your chance to let people know which context sphere you are. And if people are looking to work with some context spheres, okay. And then towards the end, once I finish everything, towards the end, we're going to have about 10, 15 minutes of Q&A, okay? So any questions that you have right now, you can still write down. and then you can ask at the very end, okay? Because what I hope is that when I finish the presentation, you feel a bit more clearer about what power teams are, right? Okay, so let's move on. So now we are looking at power teams, okay? So power teams are so context here are passive, power teams are active, okay? So a power team is a passive context here that changes into an active power team, okay? Right. So the most important thing to me, this is the most important rule in a power team. Members in your power team, 80% of their clients can be your clients, and 80% of your clients can be their clients, okay? So this is what I call the 80% rule. And why is this rule so important? Because power teams work on projects. If you do not have a project, why have a power team, isn't it? The power team must be able to work together on a project, okay? So I gave you two examples just now. When we talk about the wedding event, okay? Everybody in my example, all 8 of them, can be involved in the wedding ceremony, okay? Right. So nobody gets left out. Everybody participates in the wedding ceremony in the project. Then the same thing, okay? The same thing when we talk about the home renovation. All the 8 people inside the power team or the contact sphere can work, okay? They can work on the house renovation project. Nobody is left out. So when you sometimes have got too big a power team and you got too many people but they don't have the 80% rule, guess what? Sometimes when you got a project, one person is left out, 2% is left out, 3% is left out, then they become very unhappy. So in a power team, everybody must be happy, everybody must be able to work together, and we get projects that everybody can do, okay? Right. So this is the 80% rule, very, very important, okay? Right. So the next thing is this, okay? Yep. The next thing is that every member becomes an active referral partner. So there is a commitment there, okay? So in a power team, usually the minimum, I'm saying usually, okay? Usually the minimum is that every member every week will give 2 referrals. How many? 2. 2 referrals to their power team members. So can you imagine your power team has got 8 people? You are one of them. Every week, okay, 7 times 2, you're going to get 14 referrals. 14 referrals every week. If you can get 14 good referrals every week, do you think your business will grow? Do you think there's a chance that you 10x your business? Of course, right? Then some of you may be saying, oh, YP, have I got to give 14 referrals? Where can I find them? So many, okay? You start to feel the stress, okay? But the thing that we come back to the 80% rule. My clients can be the clients of my power team members. So I just choose one client, 2 clients. I only need 2 clients, and it's the same 2 names I can give to my power team members. And they are going to provide different services, okay? Different services to my client. So for example, I give an example. I just now give an example that was missing car mechanic. Let's say I'm a car mechanic. The owners of the cars that come to me, they still need their tire change and balance, okay? They still need to have their aircon checked every 6 months. They need to have their car clean. They need to buy car insurance, correct? Some of them want to have big, strong boom, 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 boom. Hi-fi set, the hi-fi in their cars, okay? So you can see my client needs my power team members' product and services. That is why the 80% rule is very important. Okay, right. So there is a commitment. We give 2. I suggest that 2 is enough. Don't go more than 2 because I know one power team, their commitment is 4. But it's a lot of pressure to bring 4 referrals every week, okay? But they get a lot of business. They were able to sustain 4 referrals a week for a few months. After that, they bring back to 2. I think 2 is reasonable. So when you're starting, when you're starting as a power team, maybe you start with 1, then you go to 2, okay? And these are very good numbers already, right? So the next one, okay? So the next one is a structure, okay? So um, I would say that there are 2 ways to do BNI. The first way is to do it by random. To do it by random means to do it by prayers. So Kathy, Kathy, I'm gonna ask you because I know you understand English and Spanish, right? Okay. So Kathy, do people in Mexico pray?
Yes,
Do a lot of them pray?
yes.
Okay. So I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm not meaning to insult anybody, okay? But I say a lot of BNI members around the world, they hope to get referrals by prayers. Oh God, please let somebody out there listen to my weekly presentation this week. So they're hoping that people listen to their weekly presentation. And after they listen to my weekly presentation, they remember what I want. And oh God, please help them meet the person that needs my services. And oh God, let me pray that my member would remember my referral request and would ask this person whether he or she can refer this person to me. And I pray, oh God, that my member next week will remember to give me a referral. Does this ever happen in Mexico? I
Yes,
know
yes.
I'm also doing business in Philippines. Okay, Philippines is a very strong. I think 70 something% of the Philippine population are Catholics. Okay, right? They are very prayerful. I believe in prayers, but I know many people believe in prayers, and God is very busy. So when everybody is praying for referrals, He will answer, prayers will be answered, but it can be a bit slow, okay? Right. You might find the effect, right? You pray for somebody to give you a referral, but it doesn't happen, okay? Sometimes you gotta wait for weeks until then it happens, okay? So why depend on prayers or depend on random referrals when you can do BI intentional? So there is random versus intentional. Random means by prayers, which is important. But the intentional means that you got a system and structure. So the power team is doing BNI by system and structure. Power team members do not pray to get the main referrals. What they do is they do projects. They go out and hunt, or they go out and farm for referrals. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, right. There is a structure. There is a system for power teams to go out there and get business. So this is the difference between now context sphere and power team. Okay, power team are active. Okay, so at this stage here, are there any questions? So I want to see whether you get what I'm sharing or not. Okay, so there are 2 words. I don't know what's the Spanish translation. Okay, can you just type into the chat whether you want BNI referrals by random or by intention? Okay, randomly or intentional. Okay, so these 2 words, you're gonna choose which are the 2 that you want. Okay, right. Yeah, intention. Good. Okay, by intention. Fantastic. So I know that what I'm sharing is getting through. Okay, right. So from today onwards, we will not do BNI by random only. We also do random because I say prayers are important. Prayers will work, okay? But at the same time, you gotta be intentional to to get faster results. And when the prayers come, the prayers are a bonus, okay? Right. So the next thing is this, okay? Right. So, the business that you get, okay, the business that you get from, when you're in the power team are profitable and predictable, okay? Yeah. Why do I say profitable and predictable? People in your power team, they understand what sort of clients you're looking for. You do projects together, and therefore your chance of converting the referral that you get from your power team members are high. And if your power team, I'm going to use a small number. I'm saying that if there are 8 people in your power team and each one bring 1 referral, you are guaranteed every week going to get 7 referrals. So you can know how much potential business you're going to get every week, okay? So that's why it becomes predictable. Right now, for most BNI members, they attend a BNI meeting and they don't know. They don't know how many referrals they're going to get. They don't know the quality of the referrals they're going to get, okay? So we change that. By having power teams, it's going to be profitable because you're going to get high converting referrals and you know how many of them you're going to get, okay? Right. So are you excited about power team? Give me a thumbs up if you're excited about power teams. Okay, good. So, they have done a study in a major chapter where power teams are working. You're going to get 67% or 2/3 of your referrals from your power teams. So right now, Luis, I'll be with you in a minute, okay? So right now, if you are only getting 1 referral and you don't have any power team, there are 2 more waiting for you every week if your power team is built well, okay? Right. If you're getting on average 2 referrals a week now, guess what? There's another 4 more waiting for you once you get your power teams built up properly, okay? So, Luis, you got a question? You're muted, yeah. Oops, did he disappear somewhere? Okay, when it comes back, you can ask his question, okay? Right. So
Luis,
now
¿está
I've
cerrado
shared with
tu
you the
micrófono? Luis Colchado, ¿está cerrado tu micrófono? No logramos escucharte. Listo. Se volvió a cerrar. ¿Se volvió a cerrar tu micrófono, Luis Colchado? Querido Luis Colchado, está cerrado tu micrófono.
No tengo dudas, se me fue sin querer la manita adelante y se me hace una magnífica forma de recibir y de dar referencias. Hay que implementarla. Muchas gracias, Lulu.
He said that he
Gracias.
put it on by mistake. He put his thumbs up by mistake.
Oh,
but-
okay, okay, good. No
but he
worries, no
said
worries.
it's
Thank you.
fantastic what you're saying, and that it could be a very powerful tool for us to use.
Okay, good, fantastic. Thank you, Luis. Okay, good. So now I'm gonna ask. Okay, now you know context here. You know the power team. Are there any questions before I move on?
Lili, adelante.
Lili.
¿A partir de cuándo se puede comenzar a trabajar de poder en un capítulo?
When can we start to work with power teams in a chapter?
Okay, so I was gonna cover this towards the end, but I might as well answer now. Those of you who know the answer, please don't give the answer, okay? Kathy, you're not allowed to say. Okay, so what is the minimum number to start a power team?
It's 6 members.
You can type it into the chat, okay? Make it easier, okay? Yeah, you can type into the chat, okay? What do you think is the minimum number to start a power team, okay? Right.
Has to be
5.
6 members.
Okay. Okay, 6 or 9. I see 8. Oh, I see 8. Wow, 5. Okay, 7. Okay, 2 minimum. Okay, minimum 7. Okay, good. So I see a lot of answers, but do you know what is the real answer? I'm going to show you, okay? The
Anything
minimum
that works
number
for
to
us?
start. No. The minimum number to start. The minimum number to start a power team is 1 person. If I belong to a chapter and let's say I am, okay, I'm going to use a simple one, okay? Let's say I'm a car mechanic. I am the only one to do vehicle in my chapter. So can I start the auto mechanic power team? Can. Because as a car mechanic, I work with aircon, I work with the tire shop, I work with the accessory, I work with the automotive detailing, I work with car insurance. Okay, I work with all these people every day. I trust them, they trust me. All I got to do is to bring them into a chapter, and together we can start the power team. Okay, so you can start with minimum 1, but sometimes it's lonely doing things alone, isn't it? So I always like to say that if there are two people, it is easier to start when it's small, 2 people, then if you got 4 or 5, okay, right. Sol, yeah. Question?
Saúl, ¿tienes una pregunta?
Hi, I have a quick question. So can we build a power team among members of different chapters?
Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, I'm going to give you a short answer, then I'm going to explain why. Okay, the short answer is no. Okay, because power teams needs to work together, they need to meet every week. Already attending 1 meeting a week with your own chapter is a lot of commitment. Can you imagine having to meet 2? So that's the first thing, okay? When you go and try to build a power team with people from many other chapters, you got to go and attend their meetings. You cannot do that, okay? Whereas in your own chapter, you can meet every week, okay? First thing, okay? Right. Second thing is this. Let's say I need somebody to my power team. Let's say I need a tire dealer, okay? I am chapter A, the tire dealer is chapter B. So the tire dealer, okay, I work with the tire dealer and try to make the person my power team. But when the tire dealer get a business for a lawyer, would the tire dealer from chapter B give to the chapter B lawyer or give to the chapter A lawyer? Definitely the chapter B lawyer, isn't it? Because a member of a chapter, the main responsibility is to bring referrals to their chapter members. So you're going to have you're trying to build a power team with people that have got no loyalty to your chapter, right? So therefore, I always differentiate the word. The power team is within the chapter. Sometimes you may work together. The English word is collaborate. Sometimes you may collaborate with somebody with another chapter. Okay, sometimes you may do that, but this is not a long-term power team. Okay, long-term power team must be within the chapter. Okay, Saul, give me a thumbs up if this makes sense.
No, yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Lei. It's quite
Okay,
clear,
yeah, okay.
your
Right.
explanation.
Okay,
Thank you so
good,
much.
good. Okay. So we answer these 2 questions. Okay, we answer what is the minimum number? We say 1, preferably 2. Okay. And the second question is, can we build power team with people outside the chapter? Answer is no. We build it within the chapter. Okay, right. So I'm going to continue with the PowerPoint. Okay, right. So the next part is I'm going to do the 3 simple steps. So the first step is that you got to have a very clear objective for the power team. You got to know what you do and you got to know who your target market is. Okay, so yeah. So you got to know exactly what services you do. Okay, yeah, what range of services you do, what you don't do. And then who is your specific target market, okay? And then a specific role for each power team member, okay? So give me 1 second. I'm going to give you an activity, okay? So you just read this, okay? So the activity is create an objective for a power team consisting of these 4 people, okay? Estate planner, life insurance, unit trust fund, and accountant. Just give me 1 second, see whether I can control this. Can I do that? Okay. Okay. So change this. Okay. Lulu, can you help me set
Claro.
just now you had 37 is too many. I just want 25, okay? 25 groups, okay? So Lulu, can you help me just create 25 groups and give them 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes to do the exercise. Somebody had a question? No? Okay, so this is a 10 minutes exercise to create a very clear objective, okay, for this power team that is starting with 4 people. Are there any questions to this exercise? So Lulu, whenever you are ready, bring them into the 25 25 breakout groups.
Estoy lista. Vamos, por favor, a las salas para grupos pequeños. Por favor, todos denle un clic en aceptar a la invitación para que no dejen a nadie trabajando solo y nos vemos en 10 minutos. Gracias. Todas las personas que aún vemos aquí en sala, si nos ayudan a darle un clic en aceptar a la invitación para sala de grupos pequeños, para que puedan hacer el ejercicio, por favor. Querido Rubén, si quieres aceptar tu invitación para grupos pequeños. Alfredo, Ramiro, Alexis, si nos ayudan a aceptar la invitación para grupos pequeños para que puedan trabajar el ejercicio, por favor. Ramiro, buenos días. Dafne, Carlos Martínez, si nos ayudan a aceptar la invitación para ir a trabajar a grupos pequeños, por favor. Hola, me uní solo con uno de mis usuarios, con el usuario que me quedé. Ok.
Traducción.
Sí.
Pero ya después si le pones, se escucha perfecto el idioma que elijas, o inglés o español.
Súper. Muchas gracias, Anabel. Gracias a todos. ¿Qué tal estos 10 minutos? Fueron rapidísimo, ¿no? Siempre nos hace falta un poquito más de tiempo, pero bueno, si no, esto se haría eterno y nosotros encantados. Pero para ir
Welcome
respetando,
back, everybody.
bienvenidos a todos de regreso.
Okay,
Una
so the 10 minutes
indicación
went
nada
very
más antes
fast,
de
isn't it?
continuar.
Okay.
Por favor, verifiquen que en el menú que tienen en la parte inferior de su Zoom tengan seleccionado la parte de la traducción en español o en inglés, como ustedes lo deseen estar escuchando, solo para que no se nos vuelvan a encimar los audios y garantizar que todos estamos súper coordinados y poniendo muchísima atención. Como parte de esta dinámica a la que fueron a trabajar en estos 25 grupos, me gustaría preguntarles a 4 de ustedes cómo les fue, qué identificaron. Recuerden que por temas de tiempo solamente podemos permitir 4 manitas, así que tenemos todavía una más, así que el primero que levante la manita será nuestro cuarto participante y hasta ahí lo vamos a dejar. Y mi querido Juan Pablo, bienvenido. ¿Qué nos quieres compartir?
Amiga querida, muchísimas gracias. Pues el equipo de poder venimos buscando la referencia de el director general o director de finanzas de Grupo Sacani, que es una empresa que se dedica a construir naves industriales. Creemos que el área de la construcción puede ser bastante buena para estos 4 giros, que pueden entrar los 4 y pueden contribuir no nada más de manera empresarial, sino de manera individual con cada uno de los, pues, de las personas que estén dentro de la empresa.
Súper, muchas gracias.
Okay.
Muy bien,
Thank you.
vamos ahora con Emilio.
Hi everyone. We were discussing in our group that we are going to be like finance and investments team, like a mini enterprise, more focused on new launches of brandings, like new entrepreneurs who wants to build a new like whatever they want to do, but specializing, they have the capital to do it, the people, and they also want like how to diversify all the money about it. And also like people that already has the business, but they want to divide it or want to launch new branches in other countries, etc. So we're more like a consulting of finances and investments.
Okay, very good.
Muchas gracias, Emilio. Gracias. Elise.
Claro que sí, muchísimas gracias. Bueno, nos enfocamos en el objetivo y nosotros nos decidimos identificar las actividades de cada una de las especialidades para poder establecer el perfil de una referencia ideal que cubra estas 4 especialidades. Y bueno, pues de ahí derivamos diferentes especialidades entre familias, entre empresas diversas, dueños de empresas o centros escolares, pero partió del objetivo de conocer a cada uno en cuanto a sus actividades particulares y eso fue lo que obtuvimos en nuestra salita. Muchas gracias.
Súper bien, gracias por compartirnos, Elise. Dianita
Bien.
Rovira.
Gracias. Nosotros nos enfocamos en crear el objetivo y buscando a un mercado objetivo muy específico. Entonces, nuestro objetivo es crear un sistema de protección patrimonial para personas mayores de 40 años que busquen asegurar e incrementar el valor de su patrimonio.
Muchas gracias, Dianita. Gracias por compartirnos.
Yeah, very
Adelante.
good.
Listo,
Thank you.
Wendy.
So I would say that for a 10-minute exercise, you all came up with very good answers. Okay? Because it normally take more than 10 minutes, okay, to get a group of people to agree on the objective. That's why I said 2% is easier than 6%. Because 2%, only 2%'s idea. When you got 6%, you got 6%'s idea. And sometimes A and B and C, they all look at things differently. Then you take a long time. Okay, you take a long time before the power team can get a good objective. Okay. So I can see all of you now because I'm not showing my PowerPoint, right? So I just want to see a thumbs up. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you want to see a real one, a real power team, and how they get they build the objective. Okay, right. So the one I'm going to show you, it took this power team 2 months. So you only had 10 minutes. Okay, so it took them 2 months to finally come up with the objective for the power team, and there's only 4 people there. It took them 2 months. Okay. Right. Because the objective is very important, it must be an objective that everybody agrees and everybody has a role, right? Now, when you do an example like this, you are not emotionally engaged because it's just like a role play. But when you're actually discussing for your own power team, you say, no, 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 we must do this because if we have to do this, I can make money. And then another member said, no, 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 you must do this because if you do this, then I can make money. And then you start to think, but if I do that, you make money, I don't make money. You know, so you're going to have this type of discussion in a real power team, okay? So I'm going to show you is something real. It took about 4 months before this power team actually got started to do things, okay? But it is a very, very profitable and powerful power team because they discuss, they really work their way to get a solid, okay, objective, right? So let me share with you the PowerPoint again, okay? Oops. Okay, so what you are seeing, okay, is what I call a power team action guide. You can see it at the bottom there. Although I say I'll share it with the chat with you, I will not share it yet because I will share with Alejandro the English version and then he will translate it to the Spanish version and then he will share it with you, okay? So this document will be shared with you, but not today, right? But he has already translated a big part of it, okay? So look, so this one is the action plan, okay? Power team action plan. It's a 4-page document. If you follow this, you get the power team built solidly, okay? So you can see here, there are 4 persons, and this is real, okay? Of course, the phone number I've changed, okay? But this is real people. This is a real power team that I work with from my region in Malaysia, okay? Right. So there are four, okay? So you can see that the four classifications are basically, okay? The first one is an estate planner. Number two is life insurance, or we call it a financial planner. Number three is a unit trust consultant. And number four is accountant. So these are the four real people. They are starting the power team, okay? Right. So every power team needs to have a leader. So they've chosen who the leader is, Simon. And they've called Seok Hui, the deputy leader, okay? And then the name of the power team. So you can look at the name of the power team. It's called Business and Wealth Management Consultancy. So already the name tell you that they want to help businesses, and they want to help businesses manage the wealth or the finance in the company, okay? So this is very, very clear, okay, right? Are there any questions to these slides? Anybody, any questions? Okay, none. I'll go on to the next one, okay? Right. So you can see now this is the objective. Of course, it took them 2 months, therefore the objective is very clear, okay? So what is the objective? Eduardo, you got a question?
Yes, thank you. Is it better to create a power group, a power team with 4 or 5, and then eventually maybe 1, 2, 3 more members show up and they get a role, but the objectives is already established? Because putting 7, 8, 10 people in the same idea, same objective, it's much more difficult, correct?
Absolutely, Eduardo. You are 100% accurate. That's why I say, it's easier to start a power team with 2 people than 4 people or 6 people. Right? Exactly what you said, okay? So when you try to get 7 to 8 people, so the reason why sometimes, in chapters that try power teams, the VP of the chapter say, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you must be in this power team. They force people together. But all of them have got the different target markets, different goals, different things. This power team will never work. So it must be people that wants to work together, same target market, same goal. Remember the 80% rule? Okay, right. I just share, for example, the 80% rule, okay? I have got a general insurance guy. General insurance normally is in financial services. Okay, that's the most normal power team. Okay, either business support or financial services. But this person doesn't join. This person joined the auto mechanic power team. Why? Because as a general insurance person, his main business is selling car insurance. So he must be dealing with other power team members that do with cars, isn't it? Okay. So you can see it is the target market. Okay. It is based on the target market, not the industry. Then I got a second insurance guy, general insurance guy. He does marine insurance. He specializes in marine insurance. That means manufacture, when you export your products by sea, you send it by container. He does the insurance for the container for the shipping, okay? Right. So who did he join? Not the financial services. He joined the manufacturing power team. So this is not a power team, but I know in Mexico you can have a manufacturing power team because in Mexico many things are being made in Mexico, okay? There's a lot of manufacturing there, okay? Right. So these are the people that deals with factories, with manufacturers, and he joined this power team so that he can help the factory owners insure their exports when they're shipped by sea. So you can see 2 general insurance guy, none of the 2 joined the financial services power team. They joined a power team where there is a 80% rule, 80% target market. Okay, right. Eduardo, yeah, you got further questions?
Yes. So say right now I'm in a sphere with 8 or 9 people.
Okay.
So let's say that there's very little agreement between the 8 or 9 people, but let's say that 2, 3, 4 of us want to form a power group, and we agree on a common objective, and then we slowly but surely start adding other members of the sphere.
That's right.
So that would be a good way to do it, right?
That's right. Okay.
Super.
So
Thank
another
you.
story, Eduardo. I'm a Malaysian. I'm born in Malaysia. 15 years ago, I moved to Australia. Okay, I'm living in Perth, Australia. 15 years ago, I moved. So when I moved to Australia, in Perth, I was helping the executive director work with a power team. Okay, so this power team, they're always fighting and quarreling, and the power team doesn't work. It is a construction power team. They had 15 people in there, but they can never agree on anything. Why? Because it's too many people. Half of them are small contractors. They do renovation, kitchen renovation, bathroom renovation, home renovation. Okay, they cannot do the big jobs. Whereas the other half are the big contractors. They build offices, they build factories, So they are the big contractors. So for me, immediately I saw so simple, I break them into two. Okay, 8 and 7. 8 of you big contractors, okay, you go and do your big buildings. And these small players, you go and do your renovation. And they
Sure.
live happily ever after. It's as simple as that. But not every solution can be so easy, okay? So you could say you could be having 8 or 9. Maybe it's not 2 power teams, it could be 3 power teams. You got to decide, among the few of you, what are your detailed target markets, and then you may divide to 3, okay? Right. And because you are
Wonderful.
targeting different things, you can have 3 power teams, and you can have very niche. You can have very niche, like for example, you're a lawyer, you focus on this type of law, right? Okay. So
Thank
so so without knowing the details, I'm just giving you a general answer. Okay. Look. So okay, so I want to come back to this. Okay. So you can see that this power team, they are very specific. Okay. So they want to provide, so their target market is owners of small to medium-sized companies. Okay. Right. Then their niche is especially those in partnership. Okay. Total financial services for themselves means the business owner, their business, and their premise. Okay, so they're looking actually for medium-sized factory owners. Okay, in partnership. Okay, so they are very specific in the target market. Okay, so what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do for this type of companies? Okay, so uh, so every company needs to do your account. So the first one is very basic. Okay, right, which is the company accounts and then planning for tax. So this is done by the accountant, okay? Very simple, very basic. Then the next thing is that, okay, they want to insure the owners and the factory workers, okay? So the financial planner comes in and provide life and personal accident insurance. In a factory, you got to insure all your workers, correct? So this is the second thing that they do. Then the third thing is wealth management, okay? Right. So the wealth management, okay. Um, so so the wealth management, the unit trust person actually will now, because unit trust, I don't know it translate well into Mexico. Okay, whether you got the same thing here, it is teaching people how to do very simple investment. Okay, so they are coming in to help with the investment. Okay, then number 4 is the general insurance. They got to insure the factory. And then partnership agreement, okay? So this one is very special, okay? Why are partnership agreements? Because many companies, the two partners come together. Hey, let's have friends, let's do business together. But they do not have a very clear partnership agreement. So when you start a business, everything is okay, you're good friends. But when you start making money, when there's problems, there's issues, when the partners start to quarrel, they are stuck because there are no rules to tell them how to get out. Okay, so that's why the exit plan is so important. Okay, right. So they already identify that when companies in partnership and the owners do not have a JV agreement, joint venture agreement, and don't have an exit plan, then they will come in and help the partners draw out these documents. Okay, right. And then the last one is the key man insurance. Okay, so is this okay? I've got a business. Me and my partner, okay, are good friends. We get along together and we run the business. Then I'm not superstitious, okay, so I be the victim. I die. Okay. What happens to my ownership of the business? It goes to my wife. Everything I give to my wife. Okay, right. So now my partner and my wife. Does my wife know how to run the business? No. But my wife has got a 50-50 share. So everything that needs to be done, my wife needs to sign. So my partner will be very, very frustrated. How come YP's wife don't understand the business, yet she's got to say yes to every single decision? So there's always this conflict. So in many businesses, when one partner die, and there is no key man insurance, there's always problem, okay? Right. But what my wife is interested is money from the business, not running the business, okay? So that's why we buy key man insurance. And this is real, okay? So in my partnership business, we buy key man insurance. What happened is that the company pays for the insurance, pay for my partner, for me, premiums. If YP dies, what happened? The key man insurance is structured in such a way that my partner will get 100% of business. And 100% of the insurance premium goes to my wife. Let's say we insure for 1 million USD, $1 million US dollars. My wife will be happy 1 million USD without having to run the business, isn't it? She is not interested into the day-to-day running. She only wants the 1 million. Okay? Right. So this is what a key man insurance is. So you can see in this power team, they sit down. That's why it takes 2 months. They got to sit down and discuss what are the pain points of people in business together, what are the big problems that they have, and how the 4 of them can solve some of these problems, and what other problems can they solve. Okay, so you can see from this very example how specific the objective is, what sort of services they provide. So 3 things, the objective of the power team, what are the special services, the type of services they provide, and number 3, okay, who is the target market? Okay, right. So are there any questions based on just this objective? Not asking about the description of this, but overall. Okay. Yep, Gabriel.
Sí, una pregunta. ¿Qué es lo preferible para la
Yeah.
formación de un equipo de poder? ¿Que alguien asigne a los integrantes o que los integrantes se quieran adherir porque creen que pueden hacer un mejor equipo?
That's a really good question. So which is better, to have someone assign people?
Okay, so what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I hope it does not offend any of the leadership team in any chapter. Okay, so my answer is this. Okay, assigned power teams does not work. In the old days, they do matchmaking, they arrange the marriage, okay? And in the old days, the boy or the girl will listen. Mommy asked you to marry that person, you go marry that person, okay? Right. Whether you like the person, you don't like the person, you still marry, okay? It's the old days. But nowadays, can you imagine telling the millennials, I'm going to find a wife for you, I'm going to find a husband for you. Do you think that's going to work? It's not going to work, isn't it? Right. People now wants to be independent to make the decision what is best for them. Okay, this is the reality now. So in BNI, for me, I would never fix somebody into a power team. I would suggest, I say, maybe Eduardo, you go and talk with Gabriel, and maybe you can work something together. If you can, good. If you cannot, go find somebody else. Okay, I may suggest who to talk to initially, but I'll never fix them in a power team. Okay. So Gabriel, I hope I answered your question. Okay, C. Okay, good. Okay. Eduardo?
Sorry, there. One last question. So
Sure.
again, say there's 9 people in my sphere, and
Okay.
and we want to create 1 or 2 power teams, and of the 9, 5 form 1 or 2 power teams. What happens to the other 4? They just remain in the sphere and they're sort of
Okay.
independent?
So let me say that, okay? Let me say that. So remember, context sphere is passive, power teams are active. Somebody can be in your context sphere, but not in your power team. Okay, so remember that, okay? Right.
Okay.
So
nothing
if a
happens.
chapter, yeah, and what I'm going to say now sounds a bit cruel, but this is the reality, okay? Let's say YP is a web designer. Okay, I'm using the most negative example. Okay, let's say YP is a web designer. I'm expensive. My web design sucks. It doesn't bring business. Okay, and I'm a nasty person to work with. I don't answer phone calls. I'm always grumpy. Do you want me to be in your power team?
No.
No. So I am in your context sphere, but I'm not in a power team because I don't have the qualities, the skill sets, the thing to make. Let's say yours is a PR and marketing, okay? So what you do, okay? You cannot find another web designer because YP is still a chapter member. Then this time you work for prayers, okay? You pray that one day YP will resign, and then a new web designer will come, and a new web designer will be part of your power team, okay? Right. So sometimes, when chapters don't have power teams, you got to wait for somebody to leave before you can replace them with somebody better. I hope I don't sound too cruel. Okay. And I want to take one step back. Okay. I don't know how, because this is not about chapter launching. Okay. But how do we launch chapters in my countries, Thailand and Philippines? Okay. We find for 8, okay, we call that 8 drivers. These are the 8 people from 8 different context sphere. And we teach them to bring one more person in. Now we got 2, okay, in each context sphere, you got 2 person that know each other. And then we say now you divide, you multiply to 4. So we build our chapters by power teams, by context sphere and then power teams, okay? So that means we lay the foundation that once a chapter is launched, this context sphere will automatically, with a bit more training, become power teams. So Alejandro, this is something that you may think about, you attended in Miami, you attended my module A and B. And if you can see the module B Facebooklet has got the 9 context sphere with all the classifications in there. This will be how we should start chapters. And then automatically the chapter would form power teams easier. Okay. Because we lay the foundation for that. Okay. Right. Woo! Seems like you all are asking very, very good questions. Okay. Right. So coming back to this slide. Okay. This slide is just to show you how much detail, how much thinking they put into doing the objective. Okay. So like I said just now, for 10 minutes, you all came up with very good answers. Okay. But you need more than 10 minutes. Okay. You definitely need a few weeks for your team to discuss a solid, okay, yeah, a solid objective, range of services, and target market. Okay, right. So that's done. Then the next part is very easy. Okay. The next part is, who do I need? Who do I need to be able to fulfill the objective? Okay, so I'm going to use back that same power team as example. Okay, so first thing is that the objective needs to be fulfilled. Okay, right. Then, sorry, I mean you got to firm up the objective. Okay, then you identify which are the missing classifications required. Okay, to deliver the power team objective. Then the next question is that out of let's say we talk about 8, okay? So my number I always use is 8. A power team should have no more than 8 people, because getting 8 people, a project that 8 people can be involved in, is already hard. When you got 10, 12, 14 people, it's impossible to get a project that everybody can be involved, okay? Yeah, so 8 is the maximum number. Okay, right. So which of the missing classification is the most critical? Okay. And then have an action plan to fill in okay, so you need to have an action plan to fill in the classification. Okay. And every member, let's say there's 4 now, each one is responsible for bringing in 1. Okay. And you got to fix the deadline. Okay. So these are the notes on how to fill. I'm going to show you again the demo of the real power team. Okay. So you can see the first 4 are okay. The first 4 are the original, and they identified these are the 4 classification they got to bring into the power team, okay? And this is tied to, and this is tied, wait, this 4, and this is tied to their objective. So they identified that the accountant, is it accountant? No, sorry, the lawyer is the most important. Why? Because they need somebody to write the joint venture agreement and to draw out the exit plan. Okay. So, for example, my business with my partners, we already say that, what happens if one of us die? The key man insurance take care of it. And the other thing is that what if if somebody wants to sell? So me and my partner, okay, we say that if you want to sell, this is how the company is going to be valued at. Because normally when it comes to the time to sell, the person who wants to sell wants to get the most money. The one who wants to buy wants to pay the lowest, isn't it? And they will always quarrel. I've seen so many of these cases, right? So what we do is that when we are getting into the partnership, we already established this is how we're going to value the company. Okay, there are many formulas, but you can have a company valuation. It could be normally people use EBITDA, if you know with accountant, 4 times the EBITDA, 10 times the EBITDA, or sometimes people will say 2 years of profits. So you already fix it already, okay, and into the agreement, so that when you exit, you know exactly how much is the sale and the duration of payment. So you could be saying that, okay, we're gonna sell the company for 2 years of profits, and this sale is going to be completed in 6 months. Okay. So already when somebody wants to buy or somebody wants to sell, they already know what the terms and conditions. Okay. This is very important. Okay. Right. So we need a lawyer for that. And then the next one they need is, of course, the general insurance person, because they need to insure the factory. So they're targeting owners of small factories, which needs insurance. Okay. Right. So you can see once the objective is clear, it is easy to fill the missing classifications. I'm going to give another example, okay? Because just now I used the automotive industry, okay? So again, this is one power team that I have helped, okay? So I'm just going to stop sharing. I'm going to ask you, okay? How many of you are busy? I should see a lot of hands go up, right? You're busy, right? Let's say I have a car mechanic and I tell you, hey, you don't have to waste time to go and service your car. I got a one-stop solution. I go to your office or your home. I pick up your car by 8 o'clock in the morning. By 5 o'clock in the evening, I'll send it back to your house or to your office. My fees are not normal. I will charge you 30% more expensive because I got to hire somebody to drive the car, okay? And do this. It's a premium service, but 30% more expensive than if you were to do everything yourself. How many of you will still want the service? Yeah, I can see quite a few of you going up, right? Right. So imagine in the city itself, okay? In the city itself, you are targeting bank managers, lawyers, accountants, the CEOs, the CFOs, the C-suite people who makes big money. Time is more precious to them than money. They don't mind paying a bit more to have their car serviced conveniently, okay? So my power team, my auto mechanic power team, my objective is to give a one-stop solution to high net worth people or successful business owners, okay? So that's my target, right? So now let's say there's 2 of us that starts, okay? Okay, right. I'm the car mechanic and the other chapter member is a tire dealer, okay? So car mechanic and tire dealer. So what are the classifications I need? I told you the aircon, the car wash, everything, okay? Car accessories, everything, okay, right? So I need now another 6 more to take care of a full servicing of a car. What is the most important rule? What is the most important rule? Of course, being trustworthy, okay, is important, right? So assuming, all the people looking at trustworthy, what do you think is the most important rule for me to fill the classification in my power team?
Common objective.
Common objective, okay. So common objective is very simple, isn't it? We want to service the if I use the word the richer people who can afford 30% premium, okay? So that's it. But what physical constraint do I need to have? 5-kilometer radius or maximum 10-kilometer radius, right? I cannot have somebody who got a car wash that is 20 miles away. By the time I send a car and come back, it's 5 p.m., right? So it's all within the 5-kilometer radius, right? So once I got the objective as a one-stop solution within 1 day, I know who to look for, and the parameter I'm looking for is that within 5 kilometer radius if possible, maximum 10. So that I can do pump, all the things covered. Is that a good example? Did you start to understand that once your objective is clear, the missing classification is very easy? Okay, right. So let me go back to the PowerPoint, okay? Okay, so the missing classifications. So then you got to know where to look for missing classifications, okay? So you can ask from your members, you can ask from other chapter. So here this is, I mean, like I told you, I'm sharing with you a real document. So I used to run BNI in my region. I've got an office where all my chapters meet, okay? So they meet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the same office. We got a huge box. Every member's name card is in there. So you can say, if you're looking for a lawyer, for example, you don't have a lawyer in the chapter, you can look who are the lawyers in there and ask them, do you have a partner that can join my chapter? So there is a resource there. You can join other organizations, the law, they call it, the bar council and so on. You can have activities. So this is inviting potential power team members to a restaurant, okay? And then you can use social media, okay, right? So you can see that, you can look at this, okay? Plaxo and what is it? E-Academy, they no longer exist, okay? Now we got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and so on, right? So I can show this is what 17 years ago, my example. So some of these platforms no longer exist, right? But you can see this is a concrete plan on how to get the missing members, okay? Right. So, and then of course, I said, each classification needs to have somebody responsible and they have a deadline, okay? Right. Yeah, so this is 2009. What year are we in? 2025. So this is 14 years ago, okay? Right. Yeah, when I was still running BNI in Malaysia, okay? Right. So any questions about missing classifications? Okay, right. So now we go to the thing. So I told you, right, starting politics is only 3 simple steps. Number 1, objective. Number 2, missing classifications. And the third one is a small project. Okay, right. Okay, so the project has got to be very, very simple. Okay, right. Okay. Then you've got a clear objective, So there are usually 4 objectives. One, is it for visibility or for marketing purpose? Or is it to have a proof of concept? So like just now, I asked you about the 30%, one-stop car solution. I already did the survey. I know it will work, okay? And it has worked, okay, right? So there's a power team who did that and it worked, okay, right? And then you want to do something for visuals, for testimonials. Your kitchen renovation, your bathroom renovation, or your whole interior renovation, right? So every person in the power team is a very well-established interior designer, carpenter, carpentry, the joinery for your island or cabinet. So they're all very good, but they've never worked together. Okay? So as a power team, they got no testimonials, they got no marketing material, they got no visuals. So what did this power team do? The power team leaders stand up in the chapter meeting and say, my name is YP. I'm the leader of the interior design power team. You know all of us members very well. You know how reliable we are, and you have given us so many referrals. Now we want to work together as a power team. But we want to have visuals, we want to have testimonials as a power team, not as individuals. Okay, right. So we are now looking for our first client. So we're looking somebody who wants to renovate your kitchen or your bathroom. Okay, one of these two or maybe two together. What we do is this. We will renovate for you. We will charge you at cost. Whatever material that we buy, we will not have a profit in it. Whoever we hire, there's no profit. And of course, our design, everything is also no profit, okay? So this is the cheapest way you can ever get quality kitchen renovation or bathroom renovation. So if I have to do, I'm going to stop share now, okay? So let's say you're all my chapter members and I come up in my power team because you trust us already, okay? And I say this is the cheapest way to get your bathroom or your kitchen renovated. How many of you want to be my first client? Okay, yeah, right. So because you know so your first project is a simple project, bathroom renovation or kitchen renovation, and you just want to do that so you can take photographs. You can ask a member to say, "Oh, my kitchen look like so terrible," but when YP and the power team come, before, after picture, you know, yeah, they're so reliable. They finish on time, and even after they finish the renovation, they clean my house. They varnish my floor. You know? So you can have all these testimonials. Why? Then the power team can have this, you know, brochure. This power team to take and start getting more business outside. Very simple. Okay, right. So the project has got to be very simple, very easy to do. Again, I'm sharing with you a lot of real life example. Okay. So again, back to my auto mechanic, the one-stop auto mechanic power team. You know what's their first project? The first project is actually to print brochures. Okay, brochure, just a flyer to say that we are now have got this service in the city area and one-stop car service. So the project, so they printed this brochure on a Saturday. They go to a big shopping mall, 1,000 cars. They put the flyer in the windscreen in the shopping mall to distribute the flyer for one day. Are you allowed to do that in Mexico? Put the brochure on the car flyer,
I don't know.
the flyer on people's windshield?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I tell you what, the worst thing that can happen is you get a fine. That's the worst thing that can ever happen, isn't it? You get a fine. But do you think that if 1,000 people, the flyers are put into their car, do you think I can get business as a power team for the one-stop solution? Yes, isn't it? Okay, right. Okay, right. So then the second thing, so Saturday, so this is a real story. Saturday, they go to the shopping mall, 1,000 cars, they distribute the flyers. On Sunday, after church, okay, they go with the family. So they divided the residential area around the CBD. Okay, you and your family, you're in charge of these two streets, these two streets, these two streets, these two streets, okay? So they go and put the flyers into people's letterbox. So day one onto the car, day two in the letterbox, okay? Right. And then they do for 2 to 3 hours, and then they have lunch, picnic lunch, family, the power team family lunch together. So from this one exercise, immediately, this simple project, the power team got business. Is this very complicated? Not at all, isn't it? Right? Okay. Right. That's why I told you, only 3 simple steps to launch power team. Objective, fill the basic classification, and a simple project. Okay, right. Okay, right. So yeah, so you got to have a timeline like any project management, and then make sure everybody has got a clear role. Okay, so so you can see. So this is again back to the wealth management one. They have got their brochures. Sorry, they write their their marketing message. Okay, then they find the cost of printing the brochure, and then talking about distributing. Okay, right. So they already got a plan on their projects. Okay, right. So before I move on, are there any questions about the projects? Okay, Then I'm going to move on very quickly, okay? Other power team activities,
Can you
okay?
put the last slide, please?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So
Thanks.
other power team activities, okay? Right. So just now one of you shared, okay? Why do contacts here not give business to each other or refer to each other? The first answer that came out was trust. So the most important element in a power team is that you got to trust each other, right? Okay. So these are the activities that build trust, okay? So first thing is the gains worksheet, right? Okay. Right. We do the gains worksheet. Then we do a power one-to-one. So a power to one-to-one is a template to understand each other business more. So the gains worksheet is to know your party member as a person, the goals, achievements and so on. So the second one is to know their business. Then the third one is office visit. So I'm going to use a lawyer or accountant. If you go to a lawyer office accountant, the first thing you open the door, you see, wow, there's so many tables there. So this lawyer is not a solo lawyer. He has got maybe 12 other lawyers working under him, okay? So you start to get impressed that he is actually a serious business owner. And then you look at his files. If you go to a law office and there are no files, you get worried, isn't it? But this office has got files from the floor to the ceiling, everywhere. They got client files. Then you're gonna believe that wow, this power team lawyer of mine is really a significant lawyer, very successful. Okay, right. So sometimes the office visits is important. In Thailand, we got many manufacturers in Thailand. So before we allow somebody who is a factory owner to join, we will insist that the power team visit their factory to see whether they are a reliable or a real factory, whether they do quality goods, and so on. Okay, right. So this office visit is important. The next one is tag along. Okay, so for example, I'm an insurance agent. You come to my office, there's nothing to see, okay? Because normally insurance agents, you don't have big offices. Because why? We're always in the field. So you come and follow me for one day. I'm an insurance agent, you follow me for one day. You see how I handle people. You see how I handle questions, how I handle objections. Then you start to know, oh, YP, he's so knowledgeable. He has got such good communication skills. Wow, he's a master salesperson. Okay, right. He's very good at closing and so on. Right. And anytime that somebody comes with me, okay, so I say, Juan Pablo, let's say you are the one that follow me, tag along. Okay. Then after me talking to my client, I tell my client, hey, Juan Pablo is the one that I work with very closely. This is what he do. Do you have any questions for him? Do you want to find out more about his business? So whoever tag along with me, I would introduce him or her to my client so that they can start building relationships. Right. So you see, it's a win-win activity. Okay, right. And beyond this, if there are any other activities that you can think of to help build trust. Okay, right. So these are the activities that the power team members do to raise the trust level. Okay, right. Then the other next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to show all the points here that I'm going to explain. Okay, I'm going to explain. Okay, the offsite meeting. Okay, so I said every power team needs to have a project. So when you first start, you start with a small project, and every power team after the chapter meeting must meet for at least half an hour. So I say every week meet for half an hour. Why? Because you got ongoing projects. You got to discuss how is your project progressing. Okay. So every week after meeting, power teams, usually sit down for half an hour to 1 hour to discuss their projects. Okay. Right. Then the second thing is that every time once a month, the power team will meet outside, usually for 90 minutes to 2 hours in a different venue. So it's not, not the chapter meeting venue, it's a bigger project. Why is this important? Normally, when you invite a visitor to a chapter meeting, hi YP, come to a chapter meeting and you can see how we can help you grow your business. This is how we typically invite. Is it very concrete? Is it very specific? No. YP in his mind will say, oh, you say I can grow my business. How are you going to help me? Is it true? you know. So there's a lot of questions in my mind. But if I were to invite somebody to come to my power team meeting, and I'm going to use a simple example construction, okay? So imagine this is a construction power team. We got a offsite meeting for our power team. I invite a plumber, okay? So we don't have a plumber, plumber fix the water and pipes, okay? So we invite the plumber to the chapter meeting. I mean, sorry, the power team meeting. And we say, oh, Mr. Plumber, we have got these projects, but we don't have a plumber. When you come in, immediately you can do these 3 projects. So already the plumber, in his mind can look at the size of the project, can imagine how much money you will make. So in the plumber's mind, ka-ching, 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 money, okay? Real money to be earned, right? So the next thing is that the power team will say, these are the 3 projects we have. These are now another 3 more projects we're going to tender for. Then the plumber going to say, ka-ching, 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 more money because you can see the future income, right? So you can see, we are no longer talking about general things. We are talking about real projects where a real business owner can imagine or can start to think how much money they can make, okay? So, of course, after the offsite meeting, the plumber will say, hey, I want to join your power team. I want to join your power team. Then the power team leader say, cannot. You cannot join our power team. You must attend the chapter meeting next week. Let me invite you to the chapter meeting next week. Okay, you must see the whole chapter meeting. And if you like what you see, then you can send in application. Okay. You send in your application, and then we got a membership committee that's going to interview you. And if they pass the interview, then you can join the chapter and then join our power team. Sometimes you can remember when you were younger, okay, or some of you are still young, sorry. When you go dating, you don't promise to marry the guy or the girl on the first date, isn't it? Right? We sometimes play a bit hard to get, isn't it? Okay, I know some of you might be laughing right now, okay? So we play a bit hard to get, right? So sometimes, when something is too easy to get, people don't value it. When it's harder to get, they know that, wow, BNI is so strict. There's interview, there's quality control, there's check, there's reference check, and so on. Then people say, okay, they are really serious about getting quality people to join, okay? Right. So this is very important. So next week, when the plumber go attend the chapter meeting, the plumber is going to be shocked. Let's say a chapter is a small chapter, 45 members, let's say, okay? Right, I know that you got huge chapters there. Let's say 45 as a small chapter. So the plumber going to say, oh, I only thought there's only 8 of you, or 8 of us, okay? But when you go there and you see 45 people, wow, I didn't realize that the chapter is so big, And then the plumber will have got some targets. Okay, I wanted to do the plumbing services for that building, and the property owner is there, or the project manager is there, or I want to be a subcontractor for something, so they can see other business opportunity at the chapter meeting beyond just projects. Okay, so these are the random referrals. They can identify bigger business owners that they want to do business for. So already more catching come into their mind, right? So you can see what we've done. Okay, what we've done is we move from the specific to the general. Okay, that's why chapters that run where all their power teams run offsite meetings have very high conversion rate. And the seed value for those chapters are usually very high because they go through the whole process of getting the right people with the right projects. Okay, right. So this is the value of running a offsite meeting, and by the time I finish, it's going to be like 1 a.m. my time in Thailand, okay? So I won't be sending you any material tonight, but maybe tomorrow or on Saturday, I will send, to Alejandro and Kathy, my English version of some of these things I've shared with you. Okay, I've got all of them, the templates, the offsite meeting templates, the Power Team Action Guide. I'm going to share with you all this material, and then between the two of them, we're going to do some translation, and you're going to have the copy of it. Okay, right. So far, so good? Okay, right. Okay, yeah. So this is this is the offsite meeting that I've talked about. Okay, right. So what are the roles of the what are the roles in the power team situation? What are the roles? Okay, so the members have got to take part in, they got to be in a power team and they got to take part in the power team activities. Okay, the power team leader got to make sure that everybody is in the power team and the power team has got the projects. Okay, so the power team leader is in charge of filling the power team and the power team projects. Okay, then every chapter has got a what do you call that? A growth coordinator. What do you call a CGC? A chapter growth coordinator. Chapter growth coordinator is to help the power team efforts in a in a chapter. And then with regions around power teams, okay, you got a regional, a regional chapter growth coordinator, okay, regional growth coordinator. So this person would support all the chapter growth coordinators in the chapter, okay, and then the directors and ambassadors, the role is support the CGC, the chapter growth coordinator and the regional growth coordinator, and of course, if you're an ED like Alejandro, you got to support everybody and you make sure that the power team concept works, okay, right? So you can see everybody has got a role in the power team, okay? And that's how power teams work in regions. Just not one chapter trying to do it or one group to try to do it. It is a culture within a chapter. Yeah, to make power teams work. All right, okay? So what's the results, okay? So when everybody, we tell people don't build a chapter, build a power team. So can you imagine if you got 8 people, 8 power teams only, with 8 people inside, already you got 64 on the way to become a platinum. I mean, you're already platinum on the way to become titanium. Okay, right? Okay. So when chapters are in power teams, everybody do the right thing. So the chapter traffic lights is going to be 100, 100 points on the chapter traffic lights, and then your members are going to be. Just give me 1 second. What did I say? Yep. The seat value is going to be increased, okay? And then the members traffic light is going to increase because people know that if I don't behave as a chapter member, I get kicked out. And they're making good money in the power team. Guess what? Their competitor is going to take over the place, okay? So everybody wants to protect, okay? Everybody wants to protect their place in the power team, okay? Right. And of course, when power teams are working well, people are happy working with the power teams, they got projects, and they make a lot of money. Guess what? The retention in your chapter is going to go up, okay? So I would say these are the 5 benefits, the 5 benefits of having power teams in a chapter, okay? So how many of us like to have these benefits in a chapter? Please type the number 5. Type the number 5 into the chat, okay? Right. Okay. Can't be only one person only. It cannot be only Kathy, right? And she's biased, okay? Okay. So how many of you want to have all these benefits in your chapter? Just type the number 5 into the chat. Okay. Me. Right. Okay. So if all of you are really interested to build it, okay. Right. Good. Okay, good. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So maybe the reason of the slow response is because we got to go through translation. Okay, I understand now. Okay, right. So, everything I have, about power teams, I'm gonna be sharing with you all the documents, yeah. And I think I've come to the end of actually the presentation. So are there any Q&As? So I tell you what, I will not play the slide here. I'm going to stop sharing and then, I'm going to open up for, any questions that you may have, Yeah. Okay. So Lulu, can you help me handle all the questions that's coming up? Okay. Right.
Claro que sí. Moni, adelante.
Gracias. Should the power team have a spot like the principal presenter?
What do you mean? Sorry?
If a power team should have the spot of the principal presenter in the session.
I think she means a leader. Should the power team have a leader?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Like just now, I showed you the example.
The
They should have a
feature
leader and a
presentation.
deputy.
Yes, in the 10-minute presentation, if we can have a power team.
Oh, okay. So you're asking about, okay. So answer is yes. Okay, answer is yes. Okay. So again, it is in the chapter. So normally your feature presentation, in most places is 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes. And in most places when the chapter is big, you got 2 6-minute speaker. Okay, right. So what they have is that if a power team is the one doing the feature presentation, the power team gets the whole 12 minutes. So it's not like 6 minutes and then somebody else. The power team, because they're talking as a power team, more people involved, they get the whole 12 minutes. Answer is yes. And in the power team action guide, which I'm going to share with you all, actually it is written at the bottom there, how to have a power team feature presentation also. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Monica.
Gracias. Gracias. Juanpa, adelante.
Gracias, amiga. YP, thank you very much for the
Thank you.
all the recommendations. I have 2 questions. If we want to make a chapter becoming to power teams, how could we do it? And what would be your first step to make a chapter instead of contact spheres, make them work as power teams? I don't know if it was correct, my question. And what would be your first
Okay,
steps?
maybe I answer this one first, okay? Right.
Yeah.
The first question, okay? So if you are a chapter president or you want to get it, okay? So you say, okay, you draw up the context sphere first. Okay, you draw up the context sphere first, and then you say that all of you belong to this context sphere, but this is not your power team. Who within your context sphere can you work with, or who in the chapter can you work with, okay, to start a power team? We suggest that, maybe 2-person, 3-person, 4-person to start, okay? And then you have your own meeting and see whether you can agree. Okay, this is how it is exactly the same as dating. You do not marry the first girl or the first boy that you go out with. You get to know more people and then you find who is suitable to you and then you get married, okay? Because marriage is for long term. So a power team is also like once you're in the power team, it's meant to be long term because you're putting your focus, your energy into building the power team, okay? Right.
Okay, thank you so much.
First question. So second question.
The second
Moises, you
question.
gotta wait a bit, okay? I finish with Juan Pablo first, okay?
Thanks so much. What would be like the first step that you would perform in this transformation?
The first step is basically, let's say for you now, okay, so this is what at the chapter level, but at the individual level, the member have got to start off with 2 or 3 people, okay, and decide on the objective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So I
Thank
give
you
you
so much.
example. I give you example with the finance one, 4 people, and I give you example with the motor mechanic, just 2-person. Okay. Yeah. The car mechanic and the tire dealer. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Next. Thank you. My pleasure.
Muchas gracias.
Okay.
Gracias. Moy, adelante.
Gracias, Lulu. YP, I'm very thankful for all the contributions you are here giving us. And I would like to, well, we have a missing question here in the chat, and I would like to read it if you allow me.
Okay, sure.
I guess it was already answered by you, but I think it would be good if you can be more specific and emphatic about it.
Okay, sure.
It says, should there be a clear criterion for the creation of power teams with respect to the business sectors represented within them? To what extent does this influence the team's overall success? I raise this question because I have experienced a power team that included very diverse professions, from sales consulting to funeral service, and I am unsure how appropriate or effective such a composition may be. Sorry, thanks.
Ooh, this looks like a very long question.
Yeah,
Is
but
it?
I think it's really a good question because, three really good questions because
Okay.
sometimes we have the energy trapped in those type of things.
Okay, so I saw it is in English, so I'm reading
Yep.
I'm reading it, okay? Okay, so yeah, I get the question now. So the answer is, first thing, every person in the power team must represent their BNI classification. They cannot represent something else that is not their BNI classification. So that's the most important thing, okay, number one, okay? So number two is it doesn't matter if they're all from diverse industries, okay? Okay, diverse industries, but they must have the same target market. They must have the objective, okay, right? Right. So is the objective that I give you a very a real example. So I remember I said about the general insurance guy that is in shipping, okay? Okay, right. So so in the power team, so it's called the industrial power team, okay? So they work with factories, okay? So one guy, he is a piping specialist. In any factory, you got to have piping to deliver gas, hot water, whatever, okay? So he's the piping guy. The second person is an ISO consultant. Every factory needs to have a standard operating procedure. So the ISO consultant is the one that works with it, okay? So another person is the electrical engineer. Every factory, every manufacturer wants to reduce electricity. So his specialization is energy efficiency. Okay. The fourth person I told you was the logistic person who do the shipping insurance. Not logistics, sorry, the shipping insurance for containers. Okay. So you can see all from different industries, isn't it? But they serve the same target market. Okay, right. And then the fifth person, he is do you have in Mexico what they call an eco bag? Not a plastic bag, an eco bag.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Yeah, eco bag, right? So the eco bag manufacturer. But you think, why would an eco bag manufacturer join the industrial power team? Reason is this, because the industrial power team also service many hotels. Because the hotels have the same needs, okay, right? So the eco manufacturer want to be connected to hotels. Why? Because hotels got laundry bags. Nowadays in hotels, your laundry bags are eco bag, isn't it? They no longer use plastic bags. So he is looking for clients, okay, through the hotels. So you can see all of them work very well as a power team, but all from different industry. What bring them together? Same target market, same objective. Woo.
Thanks.
Okay, answer that? Okay, good. Okay, thanks, Princess. Okay.
Muchas gracias. Fran, adelante.
Thanks. I like your presentation.
Thank you.
And in your personal point of view, what will be the best economic results for a many power team with too many members for better results?
So if you start with 2, and then you build your way up, then this problem shouldn't happen, okay? For example, my automotive power team, okay, is to do with vehicles. They build. Then a visitor come. So the visitor sells truck tires. Should I let the visitor, and the visitor wants to apply to join because they say, oh, you got a vehicle power team, okay? Should I let the truck tire dealer join or not? What do you think? Is it a yes or no answer?
I think yes.
The answer should be no. Because when this truck tire comes in, all of us, we service the normal passenger car. You come and sell us the big truck tires, none of the cars can use it. So you do not fit in the power team. And if the power team tries to fit your big truck tires into their objective, it's not going to work. Okay? So as a leader in the chapter, what do? I only got two solutions, or three solutions. One, don't join. Number two, I have got another power team, another chapter that has got a industrial vehicle power team. You got a truck mechanic, you got an Isuzu or whatever big truck sales, you know. Go and join that one, not this chapter. Second thing. Or the third one, I said, if you really like to join this chapter, yes, you can. But you're going to be one person. Let me work with you to build the commercial truck power team. We're going to bring in the truck mechanic. We're going to bring in the compressor seller, you know, somebody who sells big industrial springs, you know. Yeah, so it's going to be a different power team. I cannot fit the truck, the commercial one, into a passenger car one. You can see now. So you're going to be very, very clear. It's the objective that drives the power team. So it's nothing about being the same industry. It's all about who is the target market you're servicing. Okay, right. So Fran, I hope I answer your questions. Okay, your question, yeah.
Yes. I try to understand with a construction team power, because we are too many members.
Okay.
Different kind of services.
Okay.
And I think that
Fran,
if we making a most effort with try to be together and give solutions to our clients, we think that we are working for the 12 people or 15 people, and we can do better results.
So Fran, what I want to say is
this,
this,
the reason
okay?
for my question. If I need to know your personal, that's it, your personal point of view.
Yeah. So Fran, I can answer this very well because I am a civil engineer. I graduated as a civil engineer, and for 20 years before BNI, I was building high rises. Okay, so I know the construction industry very well. Okay, right. So the thing is this. Okay, usually the problem is the size of your contracts. Okay, that you can handle. Okay, so always divide two: construction, meaning a new building. And usually, for most cases, you must be able to build a 5-story building, okay? Right. So are you certified? Do you have the license to do that? So you belong to the construction power team, okay? That's one. Then the second one is those who are doing the smaller jobs, home renovation. So in all my chapters, I divide the two. You are doing the construction for new buildings, and you're doing the home renovation. So you got a more interior designer, the furnishing people. Although you're in construction, but you are into the renovation type, construction. If you can divide into these two, usually it will work. Okay, this is my experience. Yeah, but you try to put everybody together, it will not work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your answers.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So do we have somebody else with some questions? Gabriel?
Tenemos a Erika, adelante.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. Buenos días, perdón. Mi duda es, si ya se tiene el grupo, vamos y nos presentamos con un cliente grande, nos autoriza el proyecto, pero si este cliente nos dice, oye, solo necesito transferir a una sola empresa, es decir, solo puedo dar de alta en mi cartera de proveedores a una sola empresa. ¿Cómo sería el proceso ahí más transparente entre los compañeros del grupo de poder? ¿Cómo se distribuyen el dinero o si se conforma una nueva empresa que sea una persona moral en la que se aglutinen las otras empresas? Más bien son dos preguntas. ¿Cómo legalmente se procede para este asunto de la representación del grupo? Y la segunda, ¿cómo se distribuye el dinero en caso de que se tenga que transferir a uno solo y vamos a suponer que es una persona física?
Okay, so I'll make this shorter. That you already have the group and you have this huge client. And
very good question, very real question.
Yeah, so
I'm going to answer your question in a slightly different way. Number one, don't ever set up a company. Okay, why? Because all your power team members, you got your own company. You got to take care of your own company. If you set up a new company that for your power team, nobody has got time to look after this new company. And when this new company get into trouble, gets sued, and so on, guess what? Everybody want to wash their hand away. But already 5 of you, or 6 of you, or 7 of you are the directors of the company. You are financially liable. Okay? Power teams that set up companies would always have challenges. That's my experience. Okay? So my first thing is never ever set up a company. Okay? Second thing comes down to the word trust. You're working on projects and so on, okay? There needs to be a certain level of trust among you. So, for example, if I talk about the easiest one is the construction, okay? Who is the biggest player among a construction, a power team? It's usually the contractor. The contractor is the one that always get the $1 million contract, and then they give to the landscaper, the painter, the bricklayer, and so on, correct? Yeah. So in a normal scenario, they are the subcontractors. So in the power team, the contractor usually is the one, the main contractor is usually the one to, front for the company. They get the payment, they write the proposal, everything. And then after that, they get paid and they distribute, okay? Right. So you may ask for very clear, transparent. You may ask the chapter accountant, to set up a particular bank account to be paid to. If you're not so sure about the money, there's only one account that you open up, but you don't start a new company. Okay, right. So for me, I always say try to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Vamos ahora nuevamente a
Thank you.
escuchar a Moisés y por último a Ruth, porque aunque quisiéramos seguir aquí interactuando, pues traemos una hora que queremos respetar. Así que adelante, Moisés, te escuchamos.
Gracias, Lulu. YP, you mentioned the construction sphere.
Okay, thank you. I want to go to bed too. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the construction sphere and also the financial team and also the wedding event. So there are 3 different key situations that we can find to start business with everybody. So do you have more suggestions about more key situations that we can be focused on so we can generate referrals for everybody in our groups?
Answer is yes. Give me 1 minute, okay? Where is that? Give me 1 minute, okay? Okay. So I actually have got one exercise that I do with my own countries. We cannot do it today, but you see this Padlet, okay? So thanks, Kathy. Kathy helped me, get this translated, okay? So I told you there are nine common power teams, okay? Right. So these are the 9 common power teams, which, and when I do a 3-hour training, I give them case scenario, these are the 4 people in each of these, common classifications. Then you got to think what is the objective, what are the missing classifications, and what's the simple first project, okay? So this will take a lot of time, okay? So this is something that I can, again share with, Alejandro. And then for those of you or those chapters, that want to work a bit harder, you can then together use this as a template to start to plan out in your chapter what do you think are the power teams as possible, right? So, if you all think that you got more work to do, you thank Moises for it, okay? Moises is the one that suggested no more work for you, okay?
Thanks.
Right. So does that answer your question, Moises?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, right. Ruth, you're the last
Muchas
one.
gracias. Ruth. Oh, thank you very much. I have a doubt. When we work together with our partners, who's the one who attend the client? Yeah, the one who gets the reference.
It depends again how well you know the clients, isn't it? Sometimes it could be the whole power team visiting, right? Um, I've got a okay. I'm working with a friend. I'm helping a friend with her consultancy business. Okay. Yeah, I'm just sharing with you. Okay. Her business is helping companies reduce their expenses. Okay, so it's a cost of optimization business. So her clients could be a hotel. The hotel wants to reduce on energy, their laundry, their food waste. No, there could be 6 different areas that the hotel wants to reduce costs on. Okay, so my friend Candice, she's based in Singapore. She'll set up a meeting with the hotel. It could be Pullman Hotel, Hilton, Sheraton, whatever. So the finance team would meet Candice and maybe 6 other specialized consultants. One person specialized in laundry, one is in, energy and all the different areas, right? So then it comes across that, it's not one person trying to claim that they know everything. Each of us are specialists in our own areas. So, this is one scenario that you can meet, okay, right? And again, if I use the construction example, okay, so normally it's the main contractor that meets with the client and will sort out all things and then come back and have a power team meeting, okay, right? It can have 2 ways. Yeah. And if you don't know what to choose, find the most handsome and the most beautiful, most charming people in your power team and let them go talk to the client.
Okay, and with this, I had another doubt. Who's the one who makes the bills?
Okay, normally, you see, remember the power team action guide? You got a leader and a deputy. By default, your leader and the deputy leader of the power team, they handle all the client-facing activities. Okay, right. Theoretically, yeah. So you got to choose among yourself who you want to represent you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you. So Alejandro, back to you. Whew. You got a very hungry team, which is a good sign. They are hungry to learn. They're hungry to get results. Okay, right.
Gracias. Muchísimas gracias, YP. Extraordinaria este entrenamiento, capacitación que nos has dado el día de hoy. Yo quiero decir que a mí YP me dijo que necesitaba 2 horas y media para esto. Yo pensé que exageraba un poco, pero me doy cuenta que no, es un tema que nos da para muchas horas. Y bueno, pues exprimiendo los minutos, hemos estado conectados entre 130 y 140 networkers, principalmente en nuestra región, BNI Tlanepantla Tizapán, mejor conocida como región bonita, pero también de muchas otras regiones de todo México. Y bueno, pues ha sido un placer escucharte. He estado leyendo comentarios pues muy enriquecedores de lo que hemos aprendido hoy contigo. Y estoy seguro que todos haremos mucho más negocio en BNI gracias a ti y gracias a esta capacitación. YP, muchas gracias. Yo sé que son casi las 2 de la mañana allá donde estás. Y bueno, pues te agradezco muchísimo el haber estado aquí con nosotros en todo este espacio de tiempo. Muchas gracias, YP.
Muchas
Thank
gracias,
you.
equipo. ¿Les
Thank you,
parece
Alejandro,
si
for the
abrimos
trust
nuestro
for
micrófono?
letting me have 2.5 hours with your team. Okay.
Gracias.
You know what? I don't
Muchas
normally always do
gracias.
that. Okay. So I'll
Gracias.
just share with you a little bit more. Okay. So actually my normal power team training, this is actually a shortened version. It's 3.5 hours, okay, where I go through maybe a bit more detail, okay? So I compress it to to 2.5, okay, right? I'm not going to do 3.5, okay? So this is the first basic training. Then the second thing I do is what I call a power team clinic. As you get your power teams formed, you have got questions. So usually, if people attend this workshop 2 months, 3 months later, when they start working in the power teams, I have got something called a power team clinic. Okay, where I will coach individual power teams. So of course it's a group meeting like this. Then you come up with all your questions about this is what we've got, what questions we have about our power team, how do we solve it? So it's just like keep on answering questions. There'll be no more new training, but it's it's all on the execution implementation. Okay. So I'll work with Kathy and Alejandro. I would like to offer this for you, maybe another 1.5 to 2 hours, where I can help individual power teams get more results. But you got to work, you can't come alone. So this is up to you, Alejandro. You're going to say that when you register, you're going to register minimum 3 people or 4 people as a team, so that we got things to work with. You come individual, we can't help you. Okay, right. So that's the second thing I do. So this is my own region. The third one, which I do, power team leader training. Okay, because if you want to lead a power team, you need to know power team well enough to be able to lead your power team, isn't it? So at the leadership team level, so it's not like it's a bit like LT training, but it's LT training for power teams. So this is what I do. And Alejandro, thank you so much for being a friend. I'm going to offer that sometime in the future. Okay, as we get the power teams more and more used in your region, let me do that for you. Okay, right. So with this, I thank all of you for your energy, right, and for participating, and I love all your feedbacks. Okay. And
Thank
once
you.
again, Kathy,
Thank you
thanks for
very
everything.
much, YP. See you in Sydney in November.
Yeah, see you in
Thank
Sydney.
very
Okay,
much.
right. Okay, so bye
Nos
bye,
vemos.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Felicidades.
Bye.
Gracias. Ayúdenme a abrir su micrófono y demos un fuerte aplauso a YP.
Muchas
Agradecidos por
gracias.
su
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias, gracias. Dios te bendiga.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay,
Gracias.
So I'm gonna leave now. Bye.
Gracias.
In 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna leave. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Alex.